Oh, hey guys, how's it going? This is going to be a little different kind of video. I'm actually putting this video out for those people in the community that have been complaining. The guys that complain about reissues and reimaginations and rehashes. As much as I absolutely love Transformers and such, keep this in mind. All you guys out there that are collecting for monetary value nowadays, it's kind of not really the best thing in the world to try to do now. Mainly because there's too many third-party companies out there. There's also way too many people out there getting the KO versions of stuff because the KO version is cheaper. And this is even going into your classics and generations and all those as well. Some of you guys out there that complain, Fans Project puts out this awesome expansion kit for something, and then all of a sudden a KO company comes out not even 2 to 3 months later with it. Mainly because somehow they nab the mold. A lot of the molds and stuff get made over in China. So, face it, it's the way it is. And I just thought I would let you guys know, don't be collecting for monetary value. Most of you guys out there that try to buy these things just to flip them to, it's kind of silly. Because nobody in their right mind is going to give you double the price on eBay for some of these items. Like take for instance the other day, I was on a certain Facebook group, and this Facebook group was complaining about like reissues and stuff like that. Why would you buy the reissue? Well, why would you want a reissue of this? That's mainly because of this. There's certain things that have been released throughout the years, such as Generation 1 Megatron, Soundwave, Blaster. A lot of the ones that came from the straight up Diaclone and Microman line that have been reimagined and reissued and completely either good knockoff or a bad knockoff of it. The truth of the matter is, most of those things are not going to stop until somebody actually walks in and finds this little black hole of a market that's in China that's producing these things. It's just not going to go away. There's too many people out there that do complain about this, and I personally think it's silly to complain about it because there's really not much you can do about it. Now, those who do not want to support the knockoffs and stuff like that, I completely understand. Because some of you guys have had these toys since childhood. And some of you guys out there that's got the Grand Maximus and stuff like that, good on you, awesome. But it's a matter of time because they came out with an official reissue of Fortress Maximus, which I happen to have up there. Most of you guys will see it in the background of my videos. But it's a wonderful toy. There's nothing wrong with it. And from what I've gathered, it's identical to the original, except for the sword. Here in the United States, we can get the sword for well. But the biggest thing is, for most of those out there that do want to complain about monetary value of toys, you might as well nix that out the water. Depending on what toy it is. There are some out there that probably won't ever see a reissue, like Grandis, or maybe even the big powered combo, which a lot of us would love to see. But some of us, like me, that's been collecting this stuff for a long time, we absolutely love like old school Diaclone. I personally said on one of the forums that I wanted to see maybe a reissue from eHobby of Devastator in its official Diaclone colors with a little plastic bag of blue rocks that looked like crack you could smoke. And this crazy base plate that it came with. That'd be awesome if they did like an homage to that or something, because honestly to me, anybody that's a Diaclone collector would possibly appreciate that, because then they'd be like, okay, I've got my official one I don't ever want to touch. I barely ever want to play with it because I'm afraid it's going to break because it's so old. And then they do a reissue of it. You have the reissue you get to play with. And honestly, to me, if you're not picking up a toy off the shelf, and if you're not playing with it, then why are you collecting them? honestly, I play with a lot of these, and there's a reason why I'd much rather have an open box one. Okay, it might be missing a gun, big deal. But in this day and age, it's kind of hard to complain, especially with all the reissues that came out toward the tail end of the 90s and going into the 2000s. There's a lot of reissues that came out during that time, guys. And most of you guys out there that complain, it's like, oh, look, I got the Generation 2 version. I can play with that because I don't really care about G2. Cool. Good on you. But some of you guys out there that are Diaclone collectors, I can completely understand. But to me, it's like, look, if you have the original Ironhide, which was the black version of that crazy looking van thing, if you have the original, leave it in the box and buy the e-hobby version so you can play with it. Nobody's going to know the difference, honestly. And to me, it's like, if I'm playing with a toy anyway, who else is going to see you besides your family? Unless you're some weirdo that lives in a basement. Not judging, but, you know. But I just thought I would kind of put this out there and put this little bug in some people's ears. Because it seems that this has been going on a lot lately. I've been hearing a lot of people complaining about, oh my god, they're doing this, oh my god, they're doing that. Well, you know what? I want to see a reissued black Zarak in non-destructive gold plastic. There's a reason for that, because I want that robot. It's mainly because it's got the crazy head and big gigantic staff and it's just cool and it'd be awesome. I do know there's that third-party crazy non-transforming version of him coming out, which I can see them reimagining. Maybe swap out the head, give it a staff, and recolor it and turn it into black Zarak to make people want to buy more of it. But who's going to get $500 for a robot that doesn't transform unless you're really crazy into jumbos? Which I know some people that are. And honestly, nothing against jumbos. I just personally don't have room for it where I live right now. When I get situated elsewhere and actually build up my studio the way I want to, I will eventually get into jumbos. But that's down the road. Mainly because jumbos are cool, but good lord do they take up space. I mean, you got robots at least as big as Fort Max or taller. With firing, punching, arm, rocket, punch, action! Just cool stuff. But, for the most part, I just wanted to kind of put this bug out there for you guys. If you guys have any comments or anything like that, put them down below. I'm not here really to rant and cry and moan. I'm just here to say it straight. Collect the toys because you guys want to collect the toys to play with them. Or to pass them on to your kids. Or something like that. Don't try collecting them for monetary value nowadays. Because, honestly, you'll be lucky to see a lot on eBay for like G1 stuff go for $5 grand. It's really hard to see that even leave for that. I mean, I personally sold a lot of Generation figures. It was, I want to say, about 2 or 3 months ago. Well, actually, it's been longer now, about 6 months now. But yeah, I sold a whole lot. All I got out was $1,200, and that included a Masterpiece Prime in there. So monetary value's kind of gone out the window, honestly. And I even put it up with bids, and that's as high as it got on eBay. And that's the thing, people don't want to pay a gigantic fee for some of this stuff. So those that are out there complaining, yeah, keep collecting your robots. Anybody out there, hey, kudos if any of you guys have got Fortress X or the Great Robot Base, because those two are two that I am looking for myself. I would love to have. But I wouldn't be against some third-party company coming out and be like, oh, we're going to reproduce these and make them in better shape and make them a little more stronger than what they used to be and then resell them. Because a lot of those things have rubber treads and stuff, and some of that stuff deteriorates over the years. It just happens. It's rubber. It happens. You guys have seen car tires. It's been left out in the freaking fields for like decades, and all they do is rot and melt away and eventually flake off. That's what happens to this stuff. I mean, especially if you don't take care of it. Even if you keep it in a conditioned place, it will still dry rot. That's what's crazy about rubber. I mean, I'm surprised half the wheels aren't like falling off these little throttle bots I've got. But that's what happens. My poor Sunstreaker, he's suffering from bad wheels. I need to get new tires for that guy. But it's part of the collection, guys. It's part of collecting. So you guys out there get really frustrated about stuff. And I know a lot of you guys are Beast Wars fans out there. That's great. I think it's cool. But I myself, I don't collect Beast Wars. But there's some people out there that do. Some likes them. But even some of those are showing wear and tear. And those are actually not as old as some of these. I mean, this is pre-Beast Wars here, and it looks like something I literally pulled off the shelf yesterday. So you can see the way things are being manufactured nowadays. A lot of ball joints, a lot of, well, paint apps are cool because they got away from stickers. And, yeah, I don't mind that, but there's times where the paint app sucks, and then it's like not much you can do about it besides get some rubbing alcohol and try to fix it. Or buy repro labels. But in that case, you might as well just send it to a customizer and have him paint it. But yeah, I just thought I'd put a bug in everybody's ear about this and let them know that, yeah, I am not being a bigot here. I'm just telling you, that's the way it is, guys. So you have to deal with it. It's just the heart of a collector. Buy the stuff you want and keep it and be happy about it and enjoy the nostalgia, because that's pretty much about all it's going to be anymore. There's way too many reimaginings of things. And not to mention the way things are nowadays, 90% of the toys you find on the shelf nowadays has some kind of electronic gimmick in it. Go back to the 80s and find that. Very little had electronic gimmicks, and when they did, it cost a lot of money back then. Especially if it has lights and sound action. I miss those commercials. But anyhow, this has been Plasticon. And this has been probably my first rant video. And this is me signing off. Peace out, you guys.